Welcome to Cut Daisies and Unicorns, and this is a Trailer Friday, and we'd like to welcome you in for a little bit of your time to give you a perspective, to give you a view of what's going to happen on Sunday's full episode. And it is a full episode again, don't you think, Steve? It's very filling. I think it has lots of filling content.
You know, when you say filling, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of our yes, a donut. Exactly. See, this is why we are meant to do this together. Is because it reminds me of when we would take trips to go to conferences. Was it Texas?
Yeah.
Oh man. And you know what I can't even figure out? I'm like, I don't even eat donuts like I used to eat donuts. You know, when I lived in Des Moines, I was not far away from Donut King.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Donut Hut was right on the way to work, especially when I lived in Beaverdale, man. And Clayton would actually argue with us because I thought Donut King was the king of the donuts.
Yeah.
And he was convinced that Donut Hut was the king of the donuts. Can we just go on record and for everyone who's out there in Listenerville, in podcast land, taking us in through whichever way you take us in, we're just glad to be able to be talking into your ear holes.
Right.
But
soak it up.
Yep. So just for the record, hashtag not a sponsor, never going to be a sponsor. This sponsorship we would actually decline. Dunkin' Donut.
Right. Dunkin'
Donut. I mean,
yeah,
no.
They're not in the family of like Donut King, Donut Hut, or Shipley's.
Shipley's was it. Oh man. We not only bought, we would start with a dozen, right?
Yeah.
And didn't we at least consume the first day the whole dozen together?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was even on the way to the conference.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Shipley's. Yeah, believe it or not. And if you want to catch a picture of that box of Shipley donuts, you can go to my Instagram account and scroll all the way down. I'm pretty sure that I have documented said Insta gratification. Mm-hmm. I wonder if we can turn that into Latin. Instantaneous gratificito.
Gratificito. That's a good...
And that is not on the keto diet, by the way. Yeah, donuts, like very filling. Yes. Now, I'll tell you, if I was going to be carnivorous in looking for something to fill,
yeah,
I'm a fan of the ribeye.
Ooh.
And Costco actually takes the horn of the ribeye. I think we mentioned this in the last. See, we start talking culinary, and I have to go back to the faves.
Right.
Now, I've not had said steak in probably 2 or 3 weeks, so, I mean, yeah. But, oh, my word. Can you tell that it's 12 o'clock p.m. our time? Here we
it's
filling.
Way past your lunch, though, now.
I already had my lunch.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah, I had my lunch before I came over. Wanted to make sure that I wasn't having the grumbly tumbly while I was sitting around well, you know, you got to Winnie the Pooh that, you know.
Shirt, no pants?
I got my pants on. Hey, Mom, I got my pants on.
I'm good, too.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And so, yeah, it is. And you know what? This is reminiscent of some of our most favorite podcasts in that we really didn't know where we were going. We
had lots of ideas.
We talked about where we would go, but what comes out of this podcast, so much better than we thought.
Yeah.
And actually, if I can tease your ear senses right now, what do Jeff Bridges and Gustav Skarsgård have in common?
What's that?
They'll have to listen to the episode to find out.
Oh, you mean like that's the teaser. Got it.
Yeah. Even Phil's teased right now.
I'm putting it together now.
Yeah.
I was teased. And tickled.
Which is another teaser. And you can't wait for that feather to hit you.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
we can call them TNT, teased and tickled episodes.
Wow.
That may hit a different genre.
Oh man, there's enough of those comments on our YouTube. All of the robots.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're gonna talk about transformation. We're gonna talk about immovability. We're gonna talk about button pushing. We're gonna talk about just how the history that we're living in. That's currently our present, but by the time you hear this, it'll be your present, but our history. How history is shaping and forming, and some of the good things that are going on in regards to directions that you could go.
Yeah, and there's lots of different directions.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and so we talked a little bit about overload, too, of that.
We did.
Because the as Bob Dylan says, the times they are a-changin'.
They are.
And so with the times a-changing, we have more and more information, more and more things that are coming at us. So,
yep.
So what are we going to do with it?
Declutter,
mm-hmm.
discard, take the weight off externally and internally. And by the weight, I mean even more to the term, if for those who are listening in English, burden.
Are we in multiple languages now too? Sweet.
Well, you can.
Which one's first?
You can do that thing where it transposes. I mean, I don't know if anybody's done that, but I mean, if you're bilingual or multilingual, I mean, let us know how it sounds.
Yeah. I'd like to know.
Let Google translate a podcast for us.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. For all of our friends in the foreign countries.
Dude, there's so many options available right now.
Mm-hmm.
We just, and that's part of what we talk about.
Yep.
There's just so many options. I was talking with the kids this weekend. They came out to visit. It was a lovely, lovely conversation and lovely time together. But we were talking about how the way we're built is a lot of times we work through choices by the process of elimination, not about being dialed in for like making a decision based on passion and, or like want or, that kind of thing.
So the process of elimination would be like not, ooh, I really love this. I want to do, like go towards this, but it's more like, yeah, I don't really love it. So let's eliminate what is, almost pros and cons.
I don't think there's no pros. I think it's like when you look at a menu, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get that salad with that kebabi on it. Mm-hmm. Or like, yeah, not going to do that. Or if you're looking at appetizers, I mean, I'm telling you right now, Nixay on my list, calamari. I'm never going to order calamari.
Have you ever ordered it? Is that why the process of elimination?
Well, I'm just saying that of all the things that people usually put on their appetizer menu, why calamari?
Yeah.
I mean, and then for them to get it right and it to be lovely and luscious, it's probably not happening. Yeah. Maybe it happened a couple times where like the people where I went, like even at different places, maybe the oil was just off a little bit or whatever. But I mean, calamaris are already squishy and squiggly. Then like you fry it up and then you have bad oil and then it's just like this wet. Yeah, I'm sorry. And you know what? If you disagree and you're like, no, you need to have calamari here, then, let me know. I love seafood. I love like fishy stuff. That's fine. Calamari, Nixay.
Yeah, Tyson has really He's ordered calamari at a couple of places, and I'm just like, I'll give it a shot, but I still haven't found one that I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
like this it's tentacles.
Right. Who and
Right.
why?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen the source.
Yeah.
I mean, like a cow. Like when I'm looking at it and saying, all right, like I understand the steak that I'm eating or the burger or whatever comes from that thing, and I'm okay with eating it.
Yeah.
I've seen the octopus, and I don't really feel like it's really delectable looking in order to say, ooh, I'd really like to dig into that thing.
Which is a movie that I would like to see sometime, My Teacher the Octopus. All right. But I actually would completely agree with you that, and maybe that's my reverence for the aliens of the sea.
Maybe.
You know, is that I would rather, because I'm a water baby, and so the things that are in the ocean and in the water, I'm endeared to.
Yeah.
I mean, I eat fish, but still.
Yeah, and I like fish too. I mean, and there's definitely a category of fish that I'm like, yeah, I'd probably stay away from that one too. There's stuff in the fish family there that I'm like, yeah, I like whitefish.
Yeah.
And that's not a racial stand.
Perfect. That's a teaser too. If you just listen in, this is gonna play an important part. All right. Yeah. So elimination, and then you go down and man, or I'm, how people call shotgun?
Yeah.
And just cultural relevance for the people who are listening through this translated Google. Shotgun means like somebody else is driving, but you're going to sit in the front seat next to the person who's driving.
Right.
Yeah. So calling shotgun, well, I move in a shotgun motion, meaning that I probably move in the driver motion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be like, hey, where do you want to eat? If I ask where you want to eat, I don't have to answer where you want to eat. I mean, somebody could come back to me and say, hey, doesn't matter to me. Where would you like to eat? But
you're like, I asked first.
That's exactly it. You know why? Because I don't want to pick the restaurant.
Right.
See what I did there? See, and so then what do you end up doing? You do a process of elimination.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because that would be, because is when it comes to that food decision, I'm always like, I can find anything to eat anywhere.
Which is actually double elimination, because wherever you go, you're going to look at a menu and you're going to eliminate what you don't like there or what you wouldn't like, and you're going to come up with something that is, passable.
Yeah.
And
or
probably
I'm
enjoyable.
I'm going to try something new, and this looks like it might be really good to eat.
You know what my
but
wife
I can find that anywhere.
Absolutely understands, and this is going to make people laugh when they listen to the episode, but the reality is she knows if she says, hey, it doesn't matter to me, we're having tacos. Even if we had tacos the night before or for the last 3 days. If she says, I don't know, hey, you pick. Oh, I'm picking tacos.
Tacos.
I love tacos.
Yeah. I really feel like you can't go wrong with tacos.
Nope. But you can go wrong with burgers.
Yeah.
Like getting a good burger. You gotta plan that out.
That's true.
You can go wrong with bad fast food. You can go wrong. You just can go wrong. Now, here's something you can't go wrong with. PB&J. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but when it comes to toast, I am a butter first, then jelly.
Me too.
Dry toast? Oh, I'll still eat toast if it's dry with jelly or jam. You know why? I personally have preferences.
Yeah.
When it comes to grape, I want jam. It's spreadable. Jelly is jellied. It's hard to spread across when you're doing PB&Js.
Sure.
I'm going to call it raw bread. instead of toasted.
Instead of toasted, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I got where you're going with that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Because toast is toasted.
it is, and it's more firm. And then when you put your fruit spread on there, slides right across the top.
Yeah, and I think that the same thing with the
That's why
peanut butter. If you're taking peanut butter on a toasted bread, that also becomes, it kind of has almost if you take it right out of the toaster,
Well,
it kind of melts into it a little bit more too.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
It kind of gets into a place where it could get messy.
yeah. And the other thing is, I do love a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that has been carried for a sack lunch, meaning that it has time that the jelly and the peanut butter get to know each other,
Right.
and the jelly gets to know its bread, and the peanut butter gets to know its bread, and it's just this fusion of community.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's a lovely communion.
yeah.
Co-union, maybe. Co-union.
Hey, so what's the chances that this trailer actually makes it on Friday?
I would say because of the last two being Saturdays, I think that this one has a higher probability of making it to Friday.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You know what? If I were going to lay odds on the likelihood, I never would have told you that we would have posted our trailer that was meant for Friday on Saturday 2 weeks in a row ever, because usually I self-correct
Right.
rather easily. Man, I got into my Friday and I was cleaning and getting the house ready for the kids to come out. And then I jumped in the car and I was listening to Pitch Perfect on the upstairs TV and the downstairs TV. I had them both pulled up and paused so that like whatever I was doing upstairs, I had it going in the background, and then I'd go downstairs and I'd have it, I'd forward it to the next part and I'd have it going in the background, and I could be able to take care of all that stuff. That was the time I should have been editing the video stuff. And I totally spaced it out. And then I go shopping, and I mean, it just took long enough for everything else. And then I get back and it's like, I told Amy, I'm like, hey, I should be back around 7. It didn't even click with me that it was Friday and that it was going to be 7 o'clock and that there was no trailer up. It didn't even click with me. And I got home about 7:35 or so. And then I went to look at my phone at 7:45, and you're like, so there's no trailer tonight, huh? Oh my gosh. So the likelihood is very great because I actually have it on my agenda today in the next 5 hours to do.
That's the reason why I'm thinking that there's a higher probability.
Yeah. I wouldn't bet against us, folks.
Right.
When you're listening to
this on Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Which is Saturday Eve.
It's the eve of the Saturday.
Cuz today's Thursday, it's Friday Eve.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so if you had been, missing it on a Friday evening, or maybe you were already listening to it on Saturday, then it didn't really matter to you.
Yeah, maybe you like 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But
either way, we're going to get it out so that you can listen to it. Because I always wonder if people are picking things up on Sunday or are they picking up midweek.
yeah.
So, for the full episode.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because sometimes I'm listening to our full episode during the week.
Yeah.
But that's also because I already know the content.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I mean, if this one's gonna, last one was, almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so I may have to spread 2 hours out.
Yeah.
And I think I listened to it in 2 sittings. So,
Yeah.
Or standings.
So here's the thing I was thinking about that we could do. I think it'd be hilarious, but people would be like, this is a pain in the ass. I was thinking we could do take our regular 2 hours and then cut it up based on the sections, and then do bingeable, hey, there's an hour and 45 minutes worth of material. But then I thought the other thing that we lose with doing something like that,
Yeah.
we lose the continuity of how we wrap things together and in and around and boil it down and bring it back. So I'm saying we're going with our flow.
Right.
And we're not spitting flow.
Right. And for Matt, who listens to while he goes to sleep, then he might cut, an episode up into, all right, I've got 20 minutes before I fall asleep, so I'm going to listen to it in.
He's got 10 nights.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It works out really well for him.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it really is. It's a good episode.
Right.
We would also encourage you, feel free to take the link on either my Facebook or Phil's Facebook or the Facebook page, Cut Daisies and Unicorns, and share that to your own Facebook page.
Share it with a friend, too.
Like and comment on YouTube to get some traction there. And we just really would appreciate it.
Right. It would be very nice of you in order to carry that out.
Yeah, very nice.
Even if you're like, well, I didn't agree there. You don't have to agree with us in order to be able to like, what we're trying to be able to do.
Or what you could do is you could put like a public service announcement before, like, in your post and be like, hey, not all of the opinions shared here are my own.
Right.
But I think that these guys are really great guys. Deep down in their hearts, they tickle my funny bone.
We're going back to tickling. And you can't tickle yourself. That's what I know.
Well,
or at least that's what I've learned.
I think it's true. We'll have to Google that. All right, everybody. We're super excited about Sunday's episode, and we can't wait until you get to take it in.
Get a hold of it, consume
it. Send it out.
And then send it out.
To others. And it will continue to move all the way through, in and around, becoming a part of what you're pondering for the week to come. Ponder me this, Batman.
Ponder away. Ponder away.
All right, and when in doubt, look out Jeff Bridges' flow. Have a good weekend, everybody.